All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. And we're going to pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. So search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my word? Shalom, Eric, man. Shalom, Sister Rose. Hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. Let's come over here to John chapter 8, verse 31. Hey, don't start all that. Don't even start. I need you to focus. Hey, if not focusing is not important to you, you can go stand outside in the heat. So if you can pay attention in school, you can pay attention in here. What you learn in school only going to benefit your pockets. And maybe not even that. So then said Yahushua to those Yahudim which believed on him. Oh, it's hot as fish grease out here. It's 90 degrees outside. If you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed. We never be in bondage to any man. Shalom, brother Ernest. How say you? You shall be made free. Yahushua answered them, truly, truly, I say unto you, whosoever commits sin is the servant of sin, and the servant abide not in the house forever, but the Son abide ever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. So, I told you to take note of what that was. Deuteronomy 33. Tavon, what's happening, man? Exodus 9. But what I will do, well, let me read it. Let me get this read first. Read me Isaiah 11 and 1 before I read the document that Emma sent last night.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the rock of Yahuwah shall rest upon him, the rock of wisdom and understanding, the rock of counsel and might, the rock of knowledge and of the fear of Yahuwah. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahuwah. He shall judge not after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins.
Deuteronomy 33 and 8.
And of Levi he said, let your Thummim and your Urim be with the Kadash one, whom you did prove at Massa, and with whom you did strive at the waters of Meribah, who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, but they have observed your word and kept your covenant.
Go ahead.
They shall teach Jacob your judgments, and Yasharah your law. They shall put incense before you, and hold burnt sacrifice upon your altar.
Go ahead.
Baruch Yahuwah his substance, and accept the work of his hands.
Smite.
Through the loins of them that rise against him,
and of them
that hate him.
Let them what?
That they rise not again.
Now let me ask y'all this question. How many of y'all are familiar with Urim and Thummim?
They were used by the high priest to get past the sort of
Let me read y'all this real quick, right? I'm gonna take my glasses off to see this. All right, and it says there are 4 ways which Elohim communicated with man: angels, visions, prophets, and Urim and Thummim. Read me 1 Samuel chapter 28, Civic, and verse 1. That's what they got listed on here. Let's see what it say.
And it came to pass in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for warfare to fight with Yasharal.
Yep.
And Achish said unto David, know you assuredly that you shall go out with me to battle, you and your men.
That's right.
And David said to Achish, surely you shall know what your servant can do. And Achish said to David, therefore will I make you keeper of my head forever.
Come on.
Now Samuel was dead, and all Yasharal had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land.
Yep.
And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Yasharal together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of Yahuwah, Yahuwah answered him not,
neither
by dreams,
nor
by Urim, nor by prophets.
So, who had the Urim and Thummim? Do you know who had it? Only the high priest had it. So let's continue in this piece of writing right here. It says in Hebrews 1:1. Well, 1:1 and verse 2. We read Elohim, who at sundry times in diverse manners spoke in time unto the fathers by the prophets, having these last days spoken unto us by his Son, who have appointed heir of all things, by whom also he had made the worlds. This study will take the reader in investigation in one of the diverse manners in which Yahuwah communicated with his people, the Urim and Thummim. The mysterious words Urim and Thummim are introduced in the scriptures for the first time as if they needed no explanation. They are described as part of the high priest's apparel in Exodus 28 and 30. We'll come back to that because we're going to go through that in detail already. Urim, Hebrew scholars with hardly an exception have seen the plural of our, which means light or fire, in the word Urim. Translators, however, appeal to have had reasons which led them under another rendering, showing that the plural form did not involve numerical plurality, and it just means light. Dr. Harold Brown says that Urim is a plural word, or which is the equivalent of the English word lights. It is the same word used in Genesis 1 and 3, let there be light. The same word rendered in the Greek Septuagint in various passages, come or give light. The Vulgate renders instruction by peace or endowed with. Now, to have any of y'all familiar with the Latin Vulgate? You know what that is? That's unfortunate. You know what the Greek Septuagint is? That's unfortunate. This is translations. One of the Vulgate is translation from Hebrew to Latin. You know what I'm talking about? The Greek Septuagint, they say that might be the closest translation out of them all. That just depends on which one you want to read. That goes with what I told y'all a while back by textual criticism. That's what them people do. They grab every translation that they possibly can and then compare them against one another to see which one is the best, to see what's actually being conveyed. So you mentioned the Urim and Thummim and the breastplate, so on and so forth. Let's come over here to Exodus chapter 28, man. Now you remember what Urim mean? It mean lights, and Thummim mean perfect. Thummim is a different version of the Hebrew word tam or tamaim. I know y'all know what that means. You know what that means, Sylvia?
We eat whole plate.
You eat the whole plate, huh? Don't leave nothing left. Come over here to Exodus 28 and 15, man. Let's do it.
Okay, you shall make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work.
The what type of word?
Cunning
I mean,
work.
it's got to be skillful. After the what?
Work of the ephod.
And make it of what?
Gold.
And what else?
Blue.
And what else?
Purple.
And what else?
Scarlet. Fine twined linen.
And you shall what?
Make it.
4 square.
It shall be being doubled, a span the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof.
Mm-hmm.
You shall set it in the settings of stones, 4 rows of stones.
First row.
Shall be a sardius.
Second row. What's next to that?
And a carbuncle.
That's the first row.
In the second row, emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond.
And what's the next row?
Third row, a liger, and the agate, and the amethyst.
And what's the fourth row?
A beryl, an onyx, and a jasper.
Now let me ask y'all this question: where else you seen this at?
Ezekiel 28.
Go and get it for us, Sid. 28 and 15, Book of Ezekiel. Come on with it.
You was perfect in your ways from the day that you was created till iniquity was found in you. By the multitude of your merchandise, they have filled the midst of you with violence, and you have sinned.
Hold on, by the multitude of your what?
Your merchandise.
Oh, tell him what merchandise is that he's selling work on the block. Now I know a lot of people attribute Ezekiel 28 to Satan, and that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, most of y'all don't be on here when we first start, but if you're on here when we first start, you already know what it is. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. Mm-hmm. So we don't look at nothing. Satan is not an important individual to be talking about. Mm-hmm. You can't read nowhere in the book where it says Satan was perfect in his ways. You could try Ezekiel 28, but you wouldn't have another witness to justify that. Nor did he have a multitude of merchandise. What he was trafficking in that merchandise, man? What that merchandise is, man?
That's rekulah. That's merchandise, traffic, or trade.
What he trading in? We know what he trading in. What he told you to buy, Civic?
The truth.
And what else?
That was not.
No, but what else though? He told you to buy the truth, and what else? He don't know what else. He ain't tell you just to buy some mama. He told you to cop some other things too. He told you to cop something else. He told you to cop something else. Slacking on your Mac and your light on your pimping. Help them out, Sylvie, man. Proverbs 23 and 23, man. They light on their pimping, man.
So buy the truth and sell not. Also wisdom, instruction, and understanding.
Oh, you got to get your little moosar. You like a little moosar, don't you? A little discipline, a little chastising, a little correction, a little instruction. That's what the man trafficking in. That's his merchandise. Come on back and read Ezekiel 28 and 15.
You was perfect in your ways from the day that you was created.
Wasn't Adam perfect in his ways in the day he was created? Let's see perfect by definition, man.
I mean,
that's the variation that Thummim come from. They both mean perfect, complete, and whole. Somebody who can rebel against Elohim could never have been perfect or whole. And if you think they were, then you a special type of stupid. You know what I'm talking about? And let's see how we know you're a special type of stupid. Revelation chapter 12, man. Read me verse 7. And I'm not talking about regular people. I'm talking about people who call themselves teachers of the word. You a special type of stupid.
And there was war in Shamaim. Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought in his Malachim, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in Shamaim. And the great serpent was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Malachim were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in Shamaim, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our Elohim, and the power of his Mashiach.
Oh, run that back again. My brother called me. I had to do that. Go ahead.
And there was war in Shamaim. Michael and his Malachim fought against the serpent, and the serpent fought in his Malachim, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in Shamaim. And the great serpent was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Hashatan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Malachim were cast out with him.
He did what to the whole world?
Deceived the whole world.
And then he brought down a third of the stars with him. He couldn't have been perfect in his ways if that was the case. I know, and let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, me not going to being in a Christian church, there was not things that I held on to. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you come in and you say, hey, now, I've always heard people say Lucifer was the devil before I got in the word. It meant me no never mind, because what did it matter to me? You know what I'm saying? Now, I know some people want to act like before they really got serious with it, that you cared and was concerned about everything, but I ain't gonna lie to you, that junk ain't mean nothing to me. I ain't giving no second thoughts, cares, or concerns, or regard to too much of any unless we were studying something specific. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we had Dr. York books. He tried to discredit the Bible, so we read some of that stuff. You know, we heard a nigga the other day, man, your man's, man, golden, aluminum swords. That nigga say he don't care what Dr. York in prison for. He like his information. Shalom, me. That's tough. Y'all know I done told you about Dr. York. You know what he in prison for? What he in prison for? Molesting children. And it's not one thing if you say you didn't do it and you went to trial and you got convicted. That nigga pled guilty. I'm gonna tell you something real, man. I'm not pleading guilty to 135 counts of child molestation, and I didn't do it. You're gonna have to give me that time. I'm not taking it. And I mean that, especially if I didn't do it. Then on top of that, they got a nigga damn near life sentence anyway, so I probably would have went to trial anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not admitting to that. He admitted to it. I meant to tell D that, but I just seen a video to say I ain't even know. I don't listen to YG. Say he made a song say he was molested as a 14-year-old with a big grown woman. You know what I'm saying? Now the video was just talking about the aspect of a lot of boys get molested by grown women, and like most of the dudes said, you don't realize you got molested until you grown. You know what I'm saying? Because most people gonna be like, nigga, you got you some coochie. But at the end of the day, though, that big grown rusty woman ain't had no business touching you. You know what I'm saying? Whether she was trying to give you some dome or she was telling you to go ahead and get you a bowl full of it, or you climbing on top of her. Well, you weren't supposed to be doing none of that. And truth be told, a lot of people wonder why a lot of young dudes be horny like that and want to hit everything, because it's the same thing to them that happened to a little girl who get molested and she turned into a whore. You know what I'm saying? It's no different. It's just that don't get talked about because it's something that Craig Smith said in the video that I agree with. He said, man, because women are usually in the oppressed class out of the genders, that they choose womanhood over righthood. So they'll justify a woman even if she's wrong just because she's a woman versus going for saying what's right. You know what I'm talking about? Shalom, Sister Jenny. Because you notice now it's a lot of teachers going to jail for having sex with them students, but I also realize there's a lot of younger women who teach us now. You know, when we was in school, them ladies was old. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't want them old ladies anyway. But these young women here, they come. I think a lot of them becoming teachers just so they can have sex with young boys. Straight them down, because young boys not gonna tell. It's like, no, I'm being serious. A boy between the ages of 12 and 17, and most of his peers, they gonna make him believe you did something. Boy, you hit a grown woman, but in reality, though, she just altered the chemistry of your brain because you ain't supposed to be having sex with somebody your age, much less somebody 2 to 3 times your age. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, there's a lot of funky dog hoes out here, man. You know, ain't nobody gonna point them raggedy hoes out. And the point of the dude video was, which we already know that it's been going on. It's just now you seeing people going to jail for it. You know what I'm saying? So now you thinking, oh, it's a phenomenon. Nah, that jump been going on for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Most of them get them young boys and push their head in between their legs. Nasty hoe. Yeah, that's what they be doing. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't let no young woman get you to this. No, say hell no. You know you know who usually get them? It be the babysitter. Yeah, that would be the babysitter, man. Be the teacher. It'd be somebody like that. I mean, it ain't no different than most little girls get got by uncle, cousin. You know what I'm saying? Mama, old man. It ain't just no random nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now with a boy, now it might be a tad bit different. It might be some big old older woman that see you in the neighborhood, think you're handsome, and now she wanna lay with you. Yeah. And that boy ain't put no metaphors in the record neither. Straightforward. I was molested. It's like a therapy session in the music video. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Sylvia, where we at with it?
We go to Revelation 12.
John crazy. So go back to Ezekiel 28, verse 15. You can read it again.
You was perfect in your ways from the day that you was created till iniquity was found in you.
That's right.
By the multitude of your merchandise, they have filled the midst of you with violence.
See, now by the multitude of your merchandise, they filled you with what?
With violence.
Now, when I read this Deuteronomy 33, when he's referring to, and this will give you some context, when he's referring to Levi, he says, bless Yahuwah his substance, accept the work of his hands, and smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. Now, remember, we talked about hated last night, and they hated this man without a what, Sylvia? Without a cause. Now, tell him what violence is there, because Satan ain't never had no violence in the midst of him because of his merchandise. Nobody brought violence to Satan because of his merchandise.
That's come on. So violence, wrong, cruelty, injustice.
Violence, wrong, cruelty, and injustice. Now, when we were talking about improper judgment going forward, remember we read by the prophet Habakkuk. He say wrong judgment proceed. And the wicked, and go on and get it for him, man. 1 and 3. I ain't got to tell it to you. I let the Lord tell you. Habakkuk 1 and 3.
Why do you show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slack, and judgment do never go forth.
Never go forth.
For the wicked do compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceed.
The wicked do what?
Compass about the righteous.
And we're on what?
Judgment proceed.
So you got violence. Violence is in the midst of him because of his merchandise. We've established a man's merchandise is truth, wisdom, understanding, and instruction. This is what he's trafficking in. And that brought violence to him. You see how that goes? If I wouldn't have did the works that no other man did, they wouldn't have had sin. If I wouldn't have spoke the word that no other man spoke, they wouldn't have sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. Now you want to kill me. Come on back to Ezekiel 28. Now I just want you to keep it because we got most of it to read by that. I didn't read the Thummim definition in that paperwork yet. I'm gonna read that in a moment. I wanted to get into some verses before we started doing that. Go ahead.
So by the multitude of your merchandise, they have filled the midst of you with violence, and you have sinned. Therefore, I will cast you.
Hold on. Run it back, my selector. Go ahead.
He said, by the multitude of your merchandise, they have filled the midst of you with violence, and you have sinned. Therefore,
and you have what?
You have sinned.
Now, what sin did them people say that this man committed? They said it because this man, being a man, maketh himself God. Now, on the surface, if you don't know the testimony, I could 100% see why you would think that would be the devil if somebody told you that. 100%. It's not outside the bounds and realms of reality, to be 100% honest with you. Go ahead.
Therefore, I will cast you as profane out of the mountain of Elohim, and I will destroy you, O covering cherub.
O covering what?
Cherub.
Now, what did the cherub cover? Cover the mercy seat. Now, Satan doesn't have that testimony of being a covering cherub. Tell him what covering means.
That's to hedge, fence about, to shut in, to block, overshadow, screen, to stop the approach, to shut off, to cover.
Notice he said to hedge. Now, when you hear to hedge, what comes to your brain? We ain't talking about on the basketball court. See, but you don't look like you hedge properly.
It's on the problem songs.
Shalom, Mama Steph.
Now you remove the hedge of protection from Job.
That is correct, sir. Job 1:1. Now, where you ever gonna see Satan be a hedge of protection for anybody? Under any circumstance, he ain't even a hedge of protection to sinners. He can't even protect a sinner. Then we talking about niggas selling their soul. That don't protect them from the wrath of God. That's how simple-minded nigga is. You think Satan got enough power to protect a nigga? Protect who? And when and how? Satan can't protect nobody. Satan can't protect his damn self. Go ahead, man. And when I say damned in that situation, I meant that literally.
So there was a man in the land of Uz whose name Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Elohim and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000.
Drop down, man. We got real. I'm sorry. Go to verse 7.
And Yahuwah said unto Hashatan, whence come you? Then Hashatan answered Yahuwah and said, from going to and fro on the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Up and down in it.
And Yahuwah said unto Hashatan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that fear Elohim and eschew evil?
Now, this is one of the situations, and we're supposed to be dealing with that with trying to range, but we done kind of slid off in another direction. Y'all willing to slide back in that direction? But that's one of the elements of what this story is about, is the trying of the range. Anybody can eschew evil and say how great and righteous you are when there's nothing to try your heart. And I know some people look at that as being cruel and this, that, there, and the third, and I can understand from a natural standpoint why you would look at that. But the pureness of your service and your faith is forged in adversity. And it's just what it is. You ain't got to like it to agree with it. What you going to do about it? What I mean, what you going to do about it, you can't even stop yourself from dying. So therefore, what you going to say to him about it? Nothing. So there's that. Go ahead.
It said, then Hashatan answered Yahuwah and said, do Job fear Elohim for nothing? Have you not?
You see how much of a whole nigga this is? And you think that people, that violence is in him from the merchandise he's selling? You think it's a covering chair? This is what type of whole nigga Satan is. Of all the things to say before the throne, he say, man, Job served you for nothing. Because the minute his life get difficult, he saying, man, this man gonna curse you to your face. This is why Revelation say he is accuser of the brethren. This is why I've always told you. When you got a nigga walking around accusing people of doing this and doing that, that's a surefire sign that he probably worked for the adversary. Because godly people don't walk around accusing nobody of nothing. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't gonna have to accuse you because your sin gonna show. They're gonna be able to determine you wrong. Godly people don't walk around making accusations. They don't have no time for it. For what? That's not my concern. They ain't looking for sin. They ain't accusing nobody of no sin. They're not concerned with your sins unless your sins are manifest. Then they just gonna tell you, repent. Tighten up on your backstroke. You know what I'm saying? You're slacking on your macking. That's it. That's all they gonna do. Return. Cast away iniquity. The first thing this man said out of his mouth, I bet he served you for nothing. That's a buster. That's a buster. That's a different. You have to look at those type of people. You just can't look at that. Oh, this is safe. That type of behavior and character is embedded in a multitude of people who walk around on this earth in flesh and blood every day. That's indicative of the character of who they serve. So when he said you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do, that's just not the lust of the flesh and fulfilling certain things. That's a character trait to show you who this individual is a part of. Because see, you either with God or the devil. There is no in between. Right. See, there's no free agency. See, it's like when you go to prison, it's not you can't be no freelancer. You got to get in a car. That's what they call it. I mean, every state's not like that though. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta pick a side, man. You're gonna be with the Bloods, you're gonna be with the Crips, you're gonna be with the Aryans, you're gonna be with them. You ain't gonna be like, oh no, I'm gonna be out here dolo. Nigga ain't gonna mess with me. Okay. Keep that attitude and watch that knife go in your stomach. All that ain't nobody gonna mess with you. Yeah, they gonna mess with you for real because you ain't got nobody with you. So when you look at the Lord, you either with Yahuwah or you with the adversary. There is no in between. So an individual who's not with Yahuwah, they're going to exhibit characteristics of the adversary. They're going to be adversarial. They're going to be strifeful. They're going to be contentious. They're going to be accusatory. And their God is going to be their belly. They're going to mind earthly things. That's always going to be the evidence of who they rock with. Nigga who walk around accusing niggas all the time, boy, that nigga the devil. Huh? I don't give a damn what damn nigga say. I tell any Hebrew, any Christian that dead to their face. The book say he an accuser of the brethren. And that means when he accuser of the brethren is what you see in Job. He go before the throne and accuse everybody. And say, yeah, he'll do this. He'll do that. That's what type of nigga that is, man. You don't want to be associated with nobody like. You wouldn't want to be associated with nobody like that. Imagine being friends with somebody and they always making accusatory statements about the people you cool with. You still gonna hang with that nigga? So what you hanging with the devil for? Remember, the devil means what, see? Slanderer, whisperer. That's what type of nigga that is, man. That's a pussy nigga to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like niggas like that. I don't even like niggas come and tell me what a nigga did. I don't want to hear that junk. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we was telling about that earlier, man. I told you the nigga who put that out there about why dude had to put his bank statements out there. Like, man, that nigga cat called that nigga Wendy Williams, man. Because that's what he owned. You gossiping. You know what this nigga said after talking about that man body bread? But yeah, man, you know, you two take 30% of the super chats. So, you know, cash at me instead of super chat. You can't talk about a nigga getting no tithe money and then turn around and ask for some money in the same breath. You just told me who you are. See, people don't pay attention to that. You know why people don't pay attention to that? Because you ain't listening to nobody. You know what I'm saying? You bobbing your head to the beat. You're not listening to the words. It's not about him individually or personally because you don't know that person. But they're giving you insight to what their character is like. You just can't ignore that because he got a name with too many vowels in it. You know what I'm talking about? But nevertheless, go ahead.
And then Ashkan answered Yahuwah and said, do Job fear Elohim for nothing?
He said, do you respect Yahuwah for nothing?
Have not you made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on
You made a what about him?
A hedge about him.
What that hedge mean, man?
A suit to hedge or fence up or about. To fence about, to hedge up.
Now that's
protection
the same
or restraint.
That's the same thing it said. So you really think Satan is a protection and a restraint? Absolutely not. Go back to Ezekiel 28, man. What verse is
it? 17.
Verse 17, Ezekiel 28.
Say your heart was lifted up because of your beauty.
Your heart was what?
Lifted up because of your beauty.
What beauty is, man? See, they see lifted up and they see that's that pride. But you have to run this back. In the minds of the scribes and the Pharisees and the people of that time, they believe Mashiach to be proud. And I'm going to ask you what couple verses that you can think of where them people accused him of that. Plainly and succinctly, if you would.
That's your feet, beauty.
Now, that's beauty, right? Remember what Isaiah 53 told you? That there was no beauty in him that he should be desired. They didn't see any splendid honor in him, but they would desire him. Now, what two instances can you see of the people accusing him of being proud to the point where they wanted to stone him?
John 10:31.
Go ahead, Civic. 10 and 30. It's another one, too. Does anybody can tell me the other one that's as plain?
Oh, come to my mind the one he say he'll destroy the temple, rebuild it, rebuild it.
I'll allow it. Come on, Civic. John 10 and 30.
I and my Abba are one.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Yahudim took up stones again to stone him. Yahushua answered them, many good works have I showed you from my Abba. For which of those works do you stone me?
He say what? For good works?
Have I showed you from my Abba?
Go ahead.
Which of those works do you stone me?
He say for good works, we stone you not. Go ahead.
The Yahudim answered him, saying, for good work we stone you not, but for blasphemy.
But for who?
But for blasphemy.
Because you
being a man.
make it for yourself.
Elohim.
You know that say that earlier in this chapter, right? What is it, by verse 4? You being a man, make it yourself God, but yet you are not a man. But you are not God. You'll die like a man. Ain't that what it say? That's what it say.
It's another one, John 5:16.
That's the one I'm talking about. John, read 28 and 4, man, just in case somebody think I be making this up. Benjamin, what they doing to you, cuz? Just muffin man. That's probably Don Joanne. Come on with it.
You said John 5?
No, Ezekiel 28 and 4. Listen what it said.
It said, with your wisdom and with your understanding, you have gotten you riches, and have gotten gold and silver into your treasures. By your great wisdom and your traffic have you increased your riches, and your heart is lifted up because of your riches.
Your heart is lifted up because of your what?
Because of your
Now,
riches.
we didn't talk about that because Proverbs 8 tell you that wisdom is durable riches. Now, what riches Satan got? The book say the only riches Satan got are natural riches. He said by wisdom and understanding, your riches are increased. Satan ain't got no riches. He told you to buy treasure that's in heaven, that moths can't corrupt and thieves can't steal. You got to ask yourself, man, what riches Satan got? What does he have? The only thing this man can offer you is money and somebody's butthole. I'm not saying that to be vulgar. I'm saying that because that's what type of time he on. The only thing this man can offer you is some illicit sexual activity and natural resources. He does not have any riches that derive from wisdom and understanding. And you know why he don't have any riches derived from wisdom and understanding? Because John 8 and 42 said that there is something that Satan does not have. And what is it that he doesn't have? The truth. That means he don't have no Amav, no Amunah, no Aman. So how is it possible for him to have wisdom and understanding and he's devoid of that? Then on top of that, to get wisdom, what the book say you got to do? You got to fear Yahuwah. Satan don't do that. So how does he have these riches? It is impossible. It is impossible for him to have it. Shalom, Brother Marcus, man. Come on with it.
It's on verse 2. Where it said that he said it harder than
read Ezekiel 22. Now, I'm establishing this for a reason, because every now and then you got to really understand that Satan is not as powerful as individuals would like for you to believe. He is not as important as individuals would like you to believe. Satan is only as powerful and important as you give him attention. The more attention you give him, the more indulging in your lust you partake in, the more power he has. Because then he has the power to entice you with the things that you lust after. You know what I'm talking about? The more the man, we already talked about this a couple weeks ago. The man say Satan walk about like a roaring lion, but what he told you to do, Sid? Resist him, stand fast in the faith, and he will flee from you. That means he ain't got no power, because if he said stand fast, all he told you was just to stand still and say, pussy nigga, get on, and he gonna deal. That means he ain't got no power. You know what that means? That means he's a coward. That means Satan does not like direct confrontation. That's what that's telling you. Somewhat, if he's telling you to resist him steadfast, that means that's direct confrontation. And with direct confrontation, he gonna flee. That means he a coward. That means he's scared of confrontation. That means he ain't got no power like that. So what you worried about him for? I'm talking about if you a saint, what you worried about him for? What can he really do? What power does he really have? You know what's happened? You live in a society that make you think Satan know your thoughts. Man, that nigga don't know nothing. You know what I'm talking about? You thinking Satan got power over your life. It's not that Satan got power over your life. It's your lust got power over your life. And because your lust got power over your life, you inherently allow him to have power over your life because now you're adversarial against God. And now you're going to be operating in the same mind that he operated in. But he don't have no power. He only had the power that God allowed him to have. And that's it. So if you ain't on top of your game, yeah, he'll devour you. But if you got the word, what can he do? All you got to do is give me a head up fade then. Go to 1 Peter 5 so they can hear these definitions for resist, steadfast, if you will, please. 1 Peter 5 and 6. And I say that sincerely. All you got to do is give me a head up fade. I just seen 1090 Jake talk about this because I ain't never go to no JIT camp, right? Because, you know, they do a heart check at a JIT camp. They call it gladiator school. You know what a heart check is, man? You know what I'm saying? That means when you hit that dorm, well, you gotta shoot somebody a fade, maybe 2-3 people a fade. It ain't even about if you whoop them or not. They just want to see if you're gonna bump. Because if you come in there and you don't fight, oh boy, your time finna be tough. And it's not, oh, we trying the niggas. Everybody gotta do it. If you step on a YO camp, a youth offender camp, yeah, everybody gotta bump. Old men, young men, white men, black men, Latino men. You walk in that dorm, you gotta knuckle up. Every prison in Florida not like that. But then YO camps like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you run across Satan, it's a heart check. But it's a lab check. It's an inward man check. Is the word of God in you where you would give him a head up fade? Or is you going to duck and run? And once you duck and run, he got you. Yeah, you cower up, he got you. Because he know you weak in faith, he going to attack you. You got a weakness. Just like we were talking about with that alligator. You got to hit him in the underbelly. The gator don't never show you his weakness because he know if he show you that, he gone. That's why I always be tripping on people talking about be vulnerable with me. You want somebody to show you their weakness so you can stab them. It's not even an issue if you would or you wouldn't. But why are you so pressed that you want to know where you can take me down at? Yeah, I ain't on that. Like Delilah, I ain't on that. Where your great strength lie at? Nah, I hope. I ain't on that. Yeah, I do. I don't love you like that, though. The only person who need to know my weaknesses is the Lord. Fortify them breaches. That's man or woman. You know what I'm talking about? Man, you ain't supposed to be walking around showing everybody that like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that that person you showing them weaknesses to is like he said, that the strong might support the weak. So this individual, you got to know this person here, man, won't put themselves before you, because he say the strong ought to support the weak and not to please themselves. So you would need to know that that's that type of person that you're dealing with before you show you them vulnerability. You don't show that to any and everybody just because somebody tell you, because you don't let these people mental health trick you. I told you that black lady that she's been saying the same stuff I've been had in my brain. Like, yeah, that love language junk, trash. It's trash. You know what I'm saying? They throw that junk out here for you to be proud and selfish. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you triggered all that type of stuff. You niggas know all these mental health buzzwords. Niggas ducking because you don't want to deal with no air. That's why everybody weak. And it's the same stuff with the word. A lot of people, so that's why everybody weak. That's why niggas folding up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no fortitude. You ain't supposed to duck adversity. You supposed to pop out. Yeah, you got to face that. There's got to be some confrontation. With no confrontation, there's no elevation. How you gonna get some salvation? I don't even remember her name. I have to go look on the page, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. He said, "My grace is sufficient to you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." That's what he told Paul. Yeah, I gotta look on Instagram and see what it is. Give me a second. Come on with it, Siobhan. Where we at with it?
1 Peter 5.
1 Peter 5 and 6. Let it go.
Say, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Elohim.
That's what the Lord did.
That he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him.
Why?
For he cared for you.
That's what a lot of people don't do. You don't cast your care upon because you don't believe he cared for you because your mama didn't care for you or your daddy didn't care for you. You know what I'm saying? I was telling you earlier, man. I can't speak for everybody else, but y'all don't know it because you done heard me say it while my mama was alive and after she was dead and while she was sitting right there. I can't speak for other niggas, boy. My people ain't do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I know it's some people, boy, they had some stuff did to him. I told you when that nigga mind was like, your people ain't love you. Everybody mama didn't love. Nah, your mama ain't love you, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I can't relate to that. But I mention that because you know the sad part in life is that it's so many raggedy niggas out here that everybody thinks that that's the norm, that everybody has some type of childhood trauma and or damage. No, but nigga think you lying if you say, no, that's not my reality. The reality is that shouldn't be nobody's reality. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is it's more often than not. You know what I'm saying? That's not normal. You shouldn't be going. But a lot of stuff that people say is trauma is not trauma. You just saying get your way. Things didn't go how you wanted to do. Because remember, it says we talk about this. Trauma by definition rewires your brain. You know what I'm saying? So unless, like, you know what I'm saying, your people were beating the brakes off of you, that's trauma. If a nigga sexually abused you, that's trauma. You know what I'm talking about? If you witnessed a horrific act, whether, you know, crime or no crime. Like if you walk and you seen somebody get hit by a car, you know, that's a traumatic thing for you to see depending on your age. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody get shot. Like that's not a normal thing that a child should see. I told you before, like you got a lot of these jits, man, they done buried a lot of their homeboys before they turned 18. That's traumatic. That's not normal. That's not normal. You 16, 17 years old and you done been to 12 of your peers' funerals. I say, man, like how Dane put it, and nobody asked them jits, is you good? Because that's not normal. That's not normal for a teenager to see a multitude of, man, that junk is traumatic for soldiers in war to see their friends die. So what you think gonna happen to a teenager in the neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? It do something to your brain, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. But everybody ain't had that. Most people, you had a normal childhood. And then some people didn't. So then you got to have the empathy and sympathy and the capability to understand just because you had a normal childhood, you should look at them and say, well, why you ain't had one? Because at the end of the day, you know one thing you don't have power over? Who your parents are. You don't got no power over that. You don't know if you're going to be born into a healthy family or a chaotic family. You know what I'm saying? And when you get born into a chaotic family, you know, that can set you back mentally and emotionally a good 20, 30 years. That's why I told y'all a while back, I agree with the brother when he said it. The best thing to do is when you have a negative experience in life, is go get therapy for that immediately. Don't wait to stack this on top of this, on top of this, on top of this, on top of this, because then you're going to try to unravel 10, 15 years worth of negative experiences. It's better just go ahead, deal with that now. You be past it, it's done. You ain't carrying it with you. You've been walked around and you be carrying 30 years worth of luggage, man. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody doesn't have the ability to face a situation, process it, understand it, and move past it. There's very few people that are that spiritually, mentally, and emotionally astute. And mature for that fashion. That's not normal if you're not trained to be like that. Because shoot, man, some junk mess your brains up. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I seen a nigga get shot. I ain't think nothing of it. Like even now, I don't have no negative. I never had no negative thoughts or reactions of watching this nigga get shot. Maybe if he died, it would have been different. The nigga damn sure was trying to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He shot him in the shoulder. Hell, I barely remember what happened. I can barely see it except for them niggas, the Jamaican nigga, because it was funny. You know what I'm talking about? He said, oh no. I think it was because the nigga who was shooting was right here. The nigga who got shot was right here. The Jamaican is in the middle. They arguing. He trying to separate. He trying to bring peace to the situation. You know what I'm saying? And then the nigga, I went to school with both of them. The nigga upped his fire and bang. You know what I'm saying? And hit bro in the shoulder. And that's when the Jamaican was like, oh no. And he got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I do remember the police like, if you don't tell us who shot you, we gonna let you die. I was like, damn, what you got going? You know what I'm saying? Like for real, he told him that we was in Whispering, what they call it? Whispering Palms. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what that's? But they don't call it that no more. But it's the apartments across the street from Crystal's on University. You know what I'm saying? Cause we were living out there then. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he definitely shot that nigga. Now we did see when we were in high school, we seen a nigga get ran over, hit by on his motorcycle, laid out dead in the street. When we were coming back from getting off the school bus, nigga like, damn, cuz out of here. You know what I'm talking about?
I seen that guy too.
Nigga like, damn. I seen that happen one time, man, when we was at the what you call that jump? Yeah, man, I was dropping word on quad. Nigga get hit. I'm talking to quad. I said, boy, that nigga dead, boy. You know what I'm talking about? But I seen that nigga get hit. I said, boy, that nigga done. He's out of here. Kept on preaching. You know what I'm talking about? Nothing I could do for him. I seen that. That's it, boy. That nigga's done, boy. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, oh yeah, you know, y'all have mercy on the soul. I seen Kim after she got shot in the coochie. That was tough. It was a lot of blood. I ain't never seen that much blood before. You know what I'm saying? About the only time I seen about the same amount of blood is when my mama hemorrhaged in the house. Like, that was a lot of blood, boy. You got to be a hell of a dude to knock on somebody's door and shoot him in the coochie. He shot her with a 4.5 too. That nigga shot her with a 4.5. I said, well, I don't know what she did to you, boy. I said, well, I don't want no vagina to make me do nothing like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Man, Kim was a hood chick. She was a stripper, man. She was cool. Man, look at man. Kim was a real nigga, man. He ain't even had to do all that. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even talking about because she stripped. I'm talking about period. Kim was a real one, boy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't have to do all that. Yeah, that wasn't even necessary, man. You ain't even had to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just saying that because she a woman. I'm saying that because that was my friend, man. You ain't had to do all that. That wasn't necessary. She was good people. She was solid. You ain't have to do all that. That was unnecessary. Say you happy for those who don't go through. Hey, definitely. And I hate it for everybody who'd experienced it. You know what I'm talking about? Because I told you plenty of times. I know why the Lord just let me be around my daddy and not the rest of the family. Because them niggas is damaged. You know what I'm talking about? My brother tell me that all the time. Like, them niggas is damaged, boy. My daddy's side of the family is messed up. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas is not good at all. That's why I don't fool with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Outside of my auntie. Shoot, my uncle staying in my daddy's house right now. That nigga smoke crack. Man, we pull around there to the bottom right now. You gonna stand there, see that nigga out there serving rock so you can smoke a rock. Shoot, that's normal around them parts. But yeah, man, that junk just is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Best thing to do is, if you know you got that going on, go get some help. That's it. Go get some help, sort it out, leave it where it's at, so you ain't got to drag it with you. You know what I'm talking about? Because eventually, if you drag it with you, man, that junk can spill out to your children. You won't even realize you spilling that on. When people say generational curses, I really hate when people say that because you having negative experiences happening to you, and then you passing them to your children ain't a generational curse. It's just, hey, you may not have the tools to know how to deal with whatever it is you were dealing with. So, of course, it's going to spill out to your children. Very few people are able to keep whatever they went through from falling on their turn. Because you're a human being. You know what I'm saying? Right situation and circumstance, that stuff coming out. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
1 Peter 5:8.
Go ahead.
Say, be sober, be vigilant.
That's right.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion.
Tell him what sober and vigilant is, man. Just so you know. He ain't talking about sober like you ain't on no liquor.
That's NAFO, to be sober, to be calm and collected in spirit, to be temperate, dispassionate, circumspect. You
know what it means to be dispassionate? Y'all know what that means?
One of the definitions is to abstain from wine.
I know it is. I mean, it makes sense. Notice he said calm and collected. Let me get you the definition for that, man. To be dispassionate is not influenced by strong emotion and so able to be rational and impartial. Able to think clearly and make good decisions because you are not influenced by emotions. Now, you know what that go back to? Those that are Mashiachs have crucified their affections and lusts. An individual who is of God is not influenced by emotions. So if you influenced by emotions, Satan can get you. That's why he say you calm and collected in spirit and you dispassionate. Like, I remember having this conversation with people years ago because they was trying to say like, oh, so you don't have no emotions? I'm like, no, you don't allow your emotions to dictate your decision making. Everybody got emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact of everybody just assumes that you should react, respond, and live by your emotions because you do. No, absolutely not. You know what I'm talking about? As a man, you're not supposed to do that. And clearly, as a godly man, he clearly telling you not to do that. Because if not, Satan gonna get you. He said, "Be sober and be vigilant." Right? What's vigilant, man?
That's Gregorio. That is to watch.
So
Give
you-
strict attention to be cautious, be active.
You need to be paying attention.
Lest through remission and indolence, some destructive calamities suddenly overtake.
So if you're not paying attention and you're not aware of what's going on, you're gonna let your emotions get the best of you, which is gonna cause you to lose self-control, and Satan gonna get you. You have to look at the type of mindset you have to have that he's describing in order for Satan to get in. The other one was like, if you divide it against yourself, if you spiritual and carnal, nigga, Satan a breeding ground on your stupid behind, nigga. You can't be spiritually carnal. What type of junk is that? But that's what niggas try to feed you. That don't make no damn sense. Go ahead, man.
It said, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about, seeking whom he may devour.
That's right.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith.
Resist steadfast in the what?
In the faith.
Give him resistance steadfast. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but run it back again.
Resist is, and this to me, that is to set oneself against, to withstand, resist, to oppose, to set against.
To oppose. Steadfast.
That is stereos, strong, firm, immovable, solid, hard, rigid.
Immovable. Oppose him and not be moved. That means that's direct confrontation. That's direct confrontation. And he's saying that direct confrontation, Satan will flee from you. The one thing Satan don't never want is direct confrontation. He don't want direct so when you see niggas throwing jabs, shooting subliminals and all that there, God comes straight to your front door. What's happening? You don't shoot no subliminal. What's happening, nigga? What you talking about? What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Remember, he said, I'm going to visit your iniquities. He said, I'm going to holler at you face to face. Satan don't like to do that because he ain't got no power. He's not that tough. He's a coward. Come on back to Ezekiel 28. And what we really discuss and really realize that is the freedom that the Son of God gives. Because the Son of God confronted Satan directly. He didn't run from it. Man, the Son of God confronted Satan the first time when he had been fasting for 40 days and 40 nights. And we're like, nigga, what's happening? And what Satan did, he resisted him steadfast in the faith and he dipped. So when James telling you that, you got the Lord giving you the example of what to do. Look him square in the eye, whole nigga, what's happening? Nigga, what that nigga told him, man, you need to teach your boy some squabbles. The Lord said he taught your fingers how to fight. He taught you some squabbles. So squabble with that whole nigga then. Let him know, man, what's happening? We could do this. You got to look at something, man. You know what's the worst thing that happened to you in the fight, Civic? You get beat up. That's it. You get beat up. You can't get scared to get beat up. A lot of people been making scenes like, oh, that nigga beat you up. So what? Some nigga get beat up because they ain't had a heart to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's better. At least I speak for men. Men have more respect for a man who had heart to fight and get beat up than the nigga who didn't and got beat up. Because at least you stood in the pain like a man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't duck and run, cover up. You're like, no. Ain't nobody going to respect you. But if you stood in there and, hey, okay, he boom whopped you. But you stood in there like a man, nigga gonna give you respect because at least you got some heart. At least you had the heart to fight, and you have to look at that spiritually. You got to have the heart to fight. You know what I'm saying? You have to have the heart to fight. A lot of people don't have the heart to fight. That's why they fold. You know what I'm saying? Got to have the heart to fight.
Here's something to take on this. What if you just?
That's right, each man.
What if you just choose to walk away or get out of the situation?
Man, I mean, that's a different deal. But the reality of the situation is, You still got to have the heart to fight.
No
Walking away from the situation don't mean you got the heart to fight. You might deem this situation as unnecessary. But see, it's not just having the heart to fight as forth as throwing hands. It's having the heart to fight in life, period.
No doubt.
Period. We just using physical altercation as an example. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the heart to fight through any manner of adversity that you come across. That's why I said a couple of weeks ago, that's why a young man has to have struggle. He got to have the heart to fight. He got to know what it is to get knocked down and have the heart and fortitude to get up. You know what I'm saying? You done seen dudes in that boxing ring like, boy, that nigga ain't gonna, and he got up. He might have got knocked down again and got up, and then he might have got knocked down again and couldn't get up. But it was the fact that, boy, that nigga knocked that nigga out and he kept coming. That's the heart of a warrior, the heart of a champion. Everybody don't have that type of heart. Got up. And get what? That John threw Deontay Wilder the whole deal because he like, well, this cracker got up. He couldn't believe that man got up. You know what I'm saying? It's about having heart, man. And you have to have that spiritual heart. And most people don't have that. That's why you say they have no root in themselves. So when adversity or tribulation arise because of the word, they're offended. You got to have the heart to fight. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the heart to fight through whatever you come across, because that's what the Lord did. But it goes back to the point of what he said in verse 6 in 1 Peter 5, that you cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. So when you know that, you can be immovable and oppose this man in the faith. That means in the amuna of the reliability of the word, and he will get away from you. Man, when I was up the road, I used to do my dog. He was from Jackson. I used to do him like this all the time. He liked to play too much. I knew what would make him go away. I go to opening up that locker and go to pulling some books out. Check this out, man. Let me read it to you, boy. The nigga gave me it. He leave me alone every time when I ain't feel like playing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're playing too much. I know how to make it go away. I start throwing some knowledge and information at you, you're going to go. Man, I used to tell the women this all the time, man. Okay, you want to test a nigga, see if he read, talking to him about some words. Because all if he wanted some monkey, he going to get missing. He going to get missing because I'm here for the monkey. I don't want to talk to you about it. I'm pretending like I want to serve God, but I really want that monkey though. But if you really go to talking about godliness on a regular basis, man, that nigga will get away from you. But see, this is the thing. A lot of ladies get messed up in the word because you let him dictate them conversations. See, I'm not telling you to open up no book and teach him. I'm talking about bear witness to your faith, what it means to you, testify of the goodness. So, you know what I'm saying? You put the ball in his court and make him flee. Because niggas always going to come out with you and do some work. He going to think he on pressure to get them yams. Don't fall for that. You know what I'm talking about? That was Sivy did. That's why I got doors. He came and got her with some words. He said, I like that. I like that. Doors, that's what Sivy did, Doors. Came at you with that word. You said, well, I like that.
Tell your business, man.
Oh, I'm just messing with y'all, man. I cannot confirm or deny any of that. Come on, man.
28-2.
28 and who?
28-2.
Come on with it, bro.
Say,
Ezekiel 28-2. I'm sorry.
Say, son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, because your heart is lifted up, and you have said, I am Elohim, I sit in the seat of Elohim in the midst of the seas, yet you are a man, and not Elohim.
And not Elohim.
Though you set your heart as the heart of Elohim.
John 5:16. All right, well, East put on their bruised heels every time. You hear that bruised heel, you supposed to think about that heel catcher. You know that heel catcher, Civic? You know who the heel catcher is? Yeah, I thought you were going to say that dog catcher. It's a dog catcher. You like that song? Damn! You don't know nothing about that?
Stop asking me about music.
Hey, I'm talking about that behind your people. That's George Clinton.
People like that drink. Man, that's what they own.
I thought they would have played some Parliament funk for you. I mean, when you were listening to Death Row, you didn't know where none of that stuff came from.
I'm paying attention to none of
Hey.
How much I feel like that.
That boy don't know about. Now George Clinton smoked crack. That nigga smoked crack. He might have been smoking the den. The freebase. That's how Richard Pryor set himself on fire. He was freebase. You know what that is, don't you? No, that's when they would take the cocaine and pretty much make crack on the spoon. And then smoke it. Or smoke it off the spoon. Well, you gotta want to get real high to smoke off a spoon, bro. Good God Almighty. What is the world come from? Come on, man.
Better than the pipe. Therefore did the Yahudim persecute Yahusha and sought to slay him, because he had done these things on the Shabbat day. But Yahusha answered them, my Abba work here too, and I work. Therefore the Yahudim sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Shabbat, but said also that Elohim was his Abba, making himself equal with Elohim.
That was Ezekiel 28 telling you about. Go back to verse 17. Hey, little boy. You seen that haircut your auntie gave your cousin? She the unlicensed cosmetologist. I see yours coming in. Your cousin, he still bald. He still bald tomorrow. Go ahead.
It said, your heart was lifted up because of your beauty. You have corrupted your wisdom by reason of your brightness. I will cast you to the ground. I will lay you before kings. That they
lay you before who?
I will lay you before kings.
And what else?
That they may behold you. You have defiled the sanctuary by the multitude of your iniquities, by the iniquity of your traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of you. It shall devour you, and I'll bring you to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of all them that behold you.
Go ahead.
All they that know you among the people shall be astonished at you. You shall be a terror, and never shall you be any more.
Go ahead.
Again, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying,
That's good, man. So, of course, he's going to bring him down and kill him. That's what he did to his son. Now, we talking about Urim and Thummim. Go back to Exodus 28. Oh, did we read where the stones was at? Go read where the stones was. That's where we came from. No, in Ezekiel 28. What verse it is? Now, for those who aren't here, we had read in verses 17, 18, 19, and 20 of Exodus 28 about those rows of stones, of precious stones, if you would, that are in the high priest's breastplate. You know, your sardius, your topaz, your carbuncle, your sapphire, emerald, and diamond, agate, amethyst, and ligor, beryl, onyx, and jasper stones.
That's on verse 13.
Ezekiel 28 and 13. Hear this.
He said, you have been in Eden, the garden of Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Every precious stone you're covering.
Every precious stone you're what?
You're covering.
That breastplate is a covering, whether you want to accept it or not. He said every precious what?
Stone.
What kind of stone?
The sardius, topaz, the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold.
In what?
And gold.
This is a high priest breastplate. If you think Satan had a covering of a high priest breastplate, I got some land to say. Yeah. In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Nice land, too. Because whether people want to accept it or not, Adam is representative of the first high priest. And the land was slaved from the foundation of the world. And this is a covering. And those stones represent who? The 12 tribes of Yasharal. Not that the 12 tribes of Yasharal were there with Adam, but they existed in his loins. In a time to come. This is what this represents. Come back to Exodus 28. And we're going to get to this, how that represent with the whore of Babylon with her purple and scarlet, because they're trying to be representative of the high priest, meaning the one that minister under God. Everything that Yahuwah got going on, Satan going to copy. And that's how people going to fall for it, unfortunately. Go ahead. Exodus 28 and 21.
And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Yasharal, 12, according to their names.
Engravings of everyone.
With his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes.
And you shall make upon the breastplate
chains at the end of wreathen work of pure gold.
And you shall make upon the breastplate
2 rings of gold, and shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate.
We don't need to read all that because that's going into sundown. Verse 29.
And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Yasharal and the breastplate of judgment upon his heart.
He gonna do what with the names of the children of Yasharal?
Bear the names of the children of Yasharal.
He gonna do what with them?
Bear the names.
And when he go into where?
Unto the Kadash for memorial before Yahuwah continually.
Now tell him what bear means. It might be Nasah, but we gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
So you know Nasah is the word to bear, to be lifted up. So when you look at that covering cherub that has these covering stones on him, this is representative of Mashiach because he's the one who's bearing the names of the tribes of Yasharal because the lamb was slain from the foundation of the world. And he bearing where, Civic? On his heart, on his lab, in his inward parts. My God, today. Read 29 again.
Saying Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Yasharal and the breastplate of judgment upon his heart when he go into the Kadash for memorial.
We can hear you.
Before Yahuwah continually. And you shall put the breastplate of judgment, the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart.
They'll be upon who?
Aaron's heart when he go in before Yahuwah.
When he notice that he says that the judgment will be in his heart when he go into where? The Kadash place in verse 29. So what is that letting you know about? When does Aaron go in the Holy of Holies? For atonement. So that means every time he got that breastplate on, he going in there to bear the iniquities of the children of Yasharal. He's supposed to keep them in his heart because he make atonement for them. Notice and then what he say in verse 31 again, read it again.
Saying you shall put the breastplate of judgment, the Urim.
Urim is the what? The lights. The Thummim is perfection.
And they shall be upon Aaron's heart.
So perfection and life should be on his heart at all times. When he got that breastplate on. Go ahead.
When he going before Yahuwah. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Yasharal upon his heart before Yahuwah continually.
Tell him what bearing judgment mean as I get this part with Thummim in this document. Let me read that first before you do that. Now Thummim, because I read the part where Urim already. The word Thummim is a derivative word of the word Tom and means perfection and completeness. Bellarine defines the word as to be true. Others believe the word to be a contraction and give it a meaning, a twin. On the theory, the two groups of gems, 6 on each side of the breastplate, were what constituted the Urim and Thummim. What has been said to be the plural of Urim applies here also. Light and perfection would probably be the best English equivalent. The mere phrase as such leaves it therefore uncertain whether each word by itself denoted many things of given thing, or whether the two taken together refer to two distinct objects or to one and the same object. In Deuteronomy 33 and 8, we have used them separately, as he said, and Levi, let the Thummim and thy Urim be with the Kadash one. This is an inversion of the usual order. Urim is found alone in Numbers 27 and 21. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before the Lord. At his word shall they go out, and at his word shall they come in, both he and the sons of Yasharal with him, even all the congregation. Urim is also found alone in 1 Samuel 28 and 6. When Saul inquired of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah answered him not by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. Thummim never occurs by itself, unless according to Zillig, we find it in Psalm 16 and 5, Yahuwah is my portion, the portion of my inheritance, and the cup, and of my cup, and you maintain my lot. Others have seen in Urim and Thummim the Babylonian words Aturu and Tamitu, meaning command or ocular decision, as will be pointed out later. However, any connection with the Babylonian language or practices is an assumption when closely examined unthinkable. Some conjecture an Egyptian origin for Tom, the Egyptian image of justice. Others make an antonym of Thummim, resulting in the meaning of faultlessness. It is generally admitted, however, the word means light and perfection on the basis of the Talmud, as well as most of the Greek MSS translate them, although Simaokis connects Urim and the word Toran, understands it to mean doctrine. The Hebrew languages suggest that the two words are perhaps antonyms. There is a host of Hebrew stems based on the word udum, all indicating concealing, closing up, even darkness. This would make the word mean illuminated and dark. As stated earlier, we are first introduced to Urim and Thummim in Exodus 28 and 30. Of course, we just read that. And you shall put in, and then let's mention some other stuff. We don't need to read all that. And we're going to get to Leviticus in a moment. So, He's got light and perfection on his heart at all times. Perfect. You know, when you're looking at that, go ahead and give him 1 John 4:16. You could make it 14. See this right here, man? This gonna help you get that rest at night you need, man. But it need to be tart, not sweet. Huh? I can't hear. I know it's in them doggone muscle melatonin gummies. Tart cherry juice. But I just like cherry juice because it make you pee.
He's saying, we have seen and do testify that the Abba sent the Son to be the Savior of the world. Mm-hmm. Whosoever shall confess that Yahushua is the Son of Elohim, Elohim dwell in him, he Elohim. Mm-hmm. We have known and believed the love that Elohim have to us. Elohim is love. He that dwell in love, dwell in Elohim, and Elohim in him.
That's right.
Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment.
That's right.
Because as he is, so are we in this world.
As he is, so are we in this world.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love cast out fear.
Because fear have
torment.
That's right.
He that fear is not made perfect in love.
He that fear is not made perfect in what?
In love.
In what?
In love.
Okay.
We love him because he first loved us.
That's right.
If a man say, I love Elohim and hate his brother, he is a liar.
He said, now Omar asking, with this as far as the breastplate, would that metaphorically be like Thomas laying on his chest hard? Pretty well, not that breastplate of judgment, because that's in Songs of Solomon, why he laid his head on his chest. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's in Songs of Solomon. I want to say chapter 1, could be chapter 2. But the casting of cares is a little different. But that's definitely in Songs of Solomon with him laying his head on his chest. Does it speak to that? That's where that comes from. You know, the casting of cares is literally is an example of strong faith. When you can be able to cast every care and concern, anxiety, worry, tribulation, and trouble, and give that over to the Lord and let him carry it. Read Isaiah 46 and 1, man. That speaks to that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to him bearing the iniquity and bearing the judgment, you know, of him carrying all of that. That's why the high priest got that on, because he carried all of that. And now your high priest who exists in Shamahim carries all of that. I missed something in this Exodus. We'll get to it in a second. Come on. Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Bel bowed down, Nebo stooped. Their idols were upon the beasts and upon the cattle. Your carriages were heavy loading. They are a burden to the weary beast.
They are a burden to the who?
To the weary.
What else? What happened after that?
They stooped, they bowed down together. They could not deliver the burden, but themselves.
They couldn't do what?
Captivity. They could not deliver the burden.
What else?
Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Yasharal.
Why is that?
Which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. And even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you.
Will I what you?
Will I carry you?
Tell them what carry mean, man.
A ball to bear a load, to drag oneself along, to make oneself a burden.
That means he gonna carry all them burdens. He said, from the day you were born till you turn gray head, I'm a carry. Go ahead.
Even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made, I will bear. Even I will carry and will deliver you. To whom will you liken me?
That man say, I've made and I'll what?
And I will deliver and I will bear.
Tell him what bear mean, man. Again.
That's what I saw.
To lift up, to bear, to carry, which is the word that's usually used when you talk about carrying iniquity. That's why he said that. That's why you see the example of the dude carrying the stake for him. Someone bearing the load because he finna bear the load. That's why you see him bearing the stake or couching down between. You know, I'm going to go on something else. So we won't do that. Come over to Leviticus chapter 8 and 8. 8 and 1. I'm sorry, not 8 and 8. But, man, I can still see. Leviticus 8 and 1.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, take Aaron and his sons with him in the garments.
Him in the what?
With him in the garments.
And the
anointing oil.
And the
bullock for the sin offering.
and 2 rams.
And a basket of unleavened bread.
And gather you all.
The congregation together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
And Moses did
as Yahuwah commanded him, and the assembly was gathered together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Go ahead.
Moses said unto the congregation, this is the thing which Yahuwah commanded to be done.
What's that?
And Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water.
This is another example why you see John the Baptist baptizing the Lord, by the way. What tribe did John the Baptist come from? What tribe specifically, though? He from the house of Aaron, because his daddy from the house of Aaron. So Aaron has to take his offspring or his brethren, and he got to do what with them? He got to wash them with water. I'm just giving you another example when he say suffer to fulfill all righteousness. John don't know why he doing what he doing. The Lord know why. Because John didn't understand what I need to baptize you for. I need to be baptized to you. See, people hear that. But John already knowing he don't need to repent. Remember, John's baptism was the baptism of shooting, of turning. He like what the Lord need to turn from. For John to say, I need to repentance, John noticed at some point that he needed to turn. Or he wouldn't have said that. But he's getting baptized because this is what the law requires. That's why the Lord came and said that. He can't operate in the priest's office if he ain't been washed. Eight and 6, Leviticus.
And Moses brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water, and he put upon him the coat and girded him with the girdle and clothed him with the robe and put the ephod upon him.
And he girded him with what?
The curious girdle of the ephod and bound unto him therewith. And he put the breastplate upon him. Also he put the breastplate, the Urim, and the Thummim.
He put in the breastplate. Perfected life. Now, with that being said, this robe, can anyone tell me the color of this robe? Can anyone tell me the color of the high priest robe? Blue. It wasn't blue. I want you to read me verse 15 again, Sylvie. Of Exodus 28.
And you shall make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work. After the work of the ephod, you shall make it of gold, blue, purple, and of scarlet. And of fine twined linen shall you make it.
Now, is that the color blue? You think that's the color blue? What colors you need to make blue?
What color, bro? Say it loud.
He said purple and red. Same thing Glory said. And both of you wrong.
Yeah, I'm about to say you mumbled that.
To make blue.
To make blue.
What is it?
Oh, yeah. But give it a definite no, ma'am. No, ma'am. She teaching America's next generation. Ain't this about a Mitch? I want you to get in the Hebrew definition of the word blue. Crystal said yellow and green. Give him the definition of blue, good sir.
That's tekeleth, violet stuff, violet thread, violet stuff for fabric.
That ain't blue, baby. What else it say? It tell you what to get you that violet.
Blue, covering spectrum from brilliant red to deep purple.
So that's not blue. That robe purple.
Say the color violet.
So what that take you to in these gospels though?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
What that take you to in these gospels though, Sibby?
They threw that on the man.
They threw that on that man. That's what it say. Come over here to Mark, man. High priest robe purple. And what that raggedy whore outfit is. So she trying to be the high priest. Little crimson, you know what I'm saying? Scarlet. Come on now, talk to me. This raggedy hoe, you know as Babylon, the mother of harlots. she's going to pretend as if she's bearing the iniquity of the children of Yasharal and the world. You thinking this got to do something with the Catholic Church? You've been greatly misinformed.
Catholic Church, they wear purple.
They wear purple and scarlet. See, that's them. Lying to me. You know why you thought that? Because you didn't know your high priest garment was purple and scarlet.
What that mean?
You didn't know that. Now you got to ask yourself, why didn't your instructor tell you that? So you wouldn't repeat such folly. That's what everybody say. Everybody say that, oh, that's the Catholic Church. No, let me tell you something. This is what the Catholic Church mean to Yahuwah. Zero. Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's a primary color. Blue just is blue. It's just here. You know what I'm saying? You got some colors, they just here. It's nothing you can make. They just here. You know what I'm saying? You will say, hey, there's blue. And there you go. And then somebody took some colors and mixed them together and say, hey, now you got purple. I want to go to Mark instead of Matthew. I'm just grabbing the verse. Mark 14, I believe. It might be 15. I'm sorry. Now we're looking at this for the example of, you can see that they threw that purple robe on him, not just for king, but for the aspect of he is the high priest. Give me Mark 15 and 14.
Then Pilate said unto them, why, what evil have he done? And they cried out the more exceedingly, crucify him. And Pilate, willing to contend with the people, released Barabbas unto them and delivered Yahushua, when he had scourged, to be crucified.
All the soldiers
Led away into the hall,
called Praetorium,
and they called together the whole band.
and they clothed him with what?
Purple,
And platted him with what?
crown of thorns,
Put it on his what?
on his head.
Now let me ask you this question. Even with that crown of thorns, you could look at it as king. But let me ask you this here. Did the high priest have a crown? But did he have a crown? Let's look and see. He had a crown. Zechariah 6 and 9. That's what they like. They like the law, don't they?
What is it like in it, bro?
Delight in it. Take pleasure. That's right. I was supposed to have been in 31 for the road. We'll get over there in a minute.
I remember the first time reading this. Well, I remember the first time reading this.
See, hold on. I'm gonna show you out the law. He had a crown in there too now. High priest had a crown now. I don't remember it ain't that bad. He had a crown too now. It's in the law. I give you Zechariah. But we got law for it too, baby. Gotta have a law. I told somebody a long time ago. And maybe we'll do it just for kicks if the Lord allow one day. Shoot, we could preach the whole gospel. And I'm talking about omit Genesis. Just give me Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. You know what I'm saying? I can give you Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the whole play. And we never got to leave from Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Ain't got to go nowhere. Give it to you just how you like. You want sacrifice? You want baptism? You know what I'm saying? You want resurrection of the dead? You want hanging from the tree? Huh? You want Judas? You want the plot and the plan? All that's in there. Let Yahuwah be his thing.
Exodus 29 and 6. With the crown.
Oh no, it's in the same chapter 28. Or it might have been 29.
It says, you should put the mitre upon his head.
Oh yeah, you know, but no, I got it right down 28. But shoot, that one will work too. No, I mean in Leviticus. One of them I was looking at, but never mind. 29 say the same thing. It all say the same thing. That's just another one. They say it somewhere else too.
Leviticus 8.
They said Leviticus 8.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Leviticus 8. You say it in Exodus 29. It's in there a couple times.
Definitely.
Come on with it, Sibo.
It's saying the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, take up the captivity of Heldai, Tobiah, and of Jediah, which are come from Babylon, and come you the same day, and go into the house of Josiah, the son of Zephaniah. Then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set upon the head of Yahushua, the son of Jehozadak, the high priest.
Go ahead.
And speak unto him, saying, Thus speak Yahuwah of hosts. Behold, the man whose name is the branch, he shall grow up out of his place. He shall build the temple of Yahuwah.
Now, see, we ain't even got, because remember, he said, a branch shall grow out of his roots. Go ahead.
Even he shall build the temple of Yahuwah, and he shall bear the esteem.
He'll bear the esteem. What else he gonna bear?
And shall sit and rule upon his throne. He shall be a priest upon his throne.
And
the council of Shalom shall be between them both. And the crown shall be to Helem and Tobiah.
That's a Melchizedek. Now come over here and give me Leviticus 8 and 9. And then after that, you can go to Exodus 29 and 1. We ain't talked about this robe and some of this stuff in a long time. It's been about close to 10. Come on. Leviticus 8 and 9. Listen to what he say.
And he put the mitre upon his head, also upon the mitre, upon his forefront.
And then he put on the golden
plate.
And the what?
The Kadash crown.
As Yahuwah
commanded Moses.
Tell him what Kadash crown means.
Kadash is apartness. Kadash, sacredness, separateness.
And what else?
And crown is Nazir, consecration, a crown, separation.
That crown of thorns was to show that he was a Nazarite, a little separation. Let me set him apart. This ain't no regular crown. This double separation. This something sacred that I done set apart. Why? Because the high priest is sacred and set apart from everybody else. Why, Civic? Because he the only one that can go in the Holy of Holies. And when he go in there, he got the breastplate on with perfected light in there. Meaning he coming in there with perfect light for the whole 12 tribes of Yasharal bearing their judgment. So when you see them put the purple robe on the man and the crown of thorns on his head, then bury him in some fresh, crisp linen, that's for the sins of the people, so they could be on his heart. He didn't need the breastplate of judgment with Urim and Thummim in it because it was inward. That's why the book tell you put on that breastplate of faith. That's why I tell you that earlier. That way you have perfected life on in your heart, carry it with you everywhere you go, even when you're into the holy place. Oil in your lamp. Don't be like the fire hose laying in the bed, waiting around. Talking about let us get some oil too. You need to go to them that sale. It's too late for you, baby. Now you're on death row. Can't get out on bail. Golly. You should have been ready. Exodus 29 and 1. My God, today.
And this is the thing that you shall do unto them, to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office.
Take your what?
One young bullock.
And what?
2 rams without blemish.
And what else you need to take?
Unleavened bread.
Now you wonder why he has some unleavened bread. Now why he eating it? So he can minister in the priest's office. Go ahead.
And cakes unleavened, tempered with oil. And wafers unleavened, anointed with oil.
Wheat and flour.
Shall you make them?
And you shall put them in what?
One basket.
In what basket?
In one basket.
3 baskets.
1 basket.
4 baskets.
1 basket.
That's why I ate. Eat. This is my body.
And bring them in the basket with the bullock and the 2 rams.
And Aaron and his son shall what?
Bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
And what you gonna do with them?
And shall wash them with water.
And you shall take they what?
The garments, and put upon Aaron the coat.
Put upon Aaron the what?
The coat.
What else you got to do?
And the robe of the ephod.
And the what else?
Ephod and the breastplate.
And the what?
And gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod.
And you shall put what on his head?
Mitre upon his head.
And put the what?
Kadash crown upon the mitre.
My God, today. Now go back to verse 31 with the priest robe, because that's where it was with the blue. For making the robe. I'm sorry. 28 and 31. This is Exodus 28 and 31.
And you shall make the robe of the ephod
all what?
All blue.
That's that purple. And there shall be a what?
A hole in the top.
In the midst thereof.
It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it.
As it was the whole of a
habergeon
that it would not
be rent.
And beneath upon the hem
you shall make the pomegranates
of
blue
and
purple
and
scarlet
round about the hem
thereof, and bells of gold between them round about.
Keep on going.
A golden bell and a pomegranate, upon the hem of the robe round about. And that should be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he go in unto the Kadash before Yahuwah. And when he come out, that he die not.
And you shall make
a plate of pure gold,
engraved upon it,
the engravings of a signet,
Kadash to who?
Yahuwah.
That's good. Now listen. Now you know they put the scarlet on him. You can look at it as forth as the red heifer, but also that scarlet robe put on him is also representative of the high priest as well. So when you go back on that back end and you see that whore of Babylon with that scarlet and purple on, it's because they're trying to remember Satan is just trying to replicate everything Yahuwah got going on. The beast is trying to replicate his Messiah, Yahuwah's Messiah. The false prophet is trying to replicate John the Baptist. Everything he's trying to do is just because listen, you cannot deceive the people with a lie that is so far away from the truth because nobody's going to fall for that. It has to closely align the truth in order to deceive you. That's how he was able to deceive Eve. He just didn't come with some old outlandish lie. He came with a lie that closely mirrored what the word said.
Right.
And that's how he kick his game. That's why I say he the worst type of buster, because he gonna make himself look like he godly. But as we were talking about, see, niggas looking at doctrine, but we already talked about it the other day. Man, that man said a good tree can't bring forth corrupt fruit. You gotta look at your life. You gotta look at your speech. You gotta look at how you move. Niggas think what you teaching gonna cover up the fact you're a wicked bastard. That's not gonna cover that up, blood. Because people gonna be able to see the fruit that you producing and how you behave. And if they don't see no joy, no peace, no long suffering, no gentleness, no goodness, no meekness, no self-control, we tell niggas on Clubhouse all the time. But that man said, if you can't bridle your tongue, your religion is vain. How you a man of God, you don't know when to be quiet. All these niggas be feeling like they had to talk. Y'all be hearing them. All of them feel like they got to be right. They don't never know when to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Remember what Psalm said? He said, I said nothing because you did it. Man, look here, man. The Yahushua know more word than every single last Israelite under heaven right now, times 1,000,000,000,000. And he ain't say nothing. These people accusing him of all type of stuff. This man looking at him like this here. He ain't responding to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you got to remember. You ain't got to respond to people's accusations because they feel like they want you to respond. That's a personal problem. I don't have to respond to you. Who told you I owed you a response? Remember what Pilate said, don't you know I got power? You're not going to say nothing to me? Lord looking at him like, nigga, who is you? Who is you for me to respond to? I ain't got to respond to you, nigga. And you got to remember that with people. Look at your friends, your family, your people. Man, you don't owe them people no response. Not about no godliness. I'm not responding. I don't got to respond to you because you feel like I need to say something back to you. I'm telling you to say something to these nuts, nigga. Straight like that. You take it how you want to take it. Because see that, I ain't gonna lie to you, because you notice that irritated the scribes and all the people the most. See, wicked niggas get mad when you don't say nothing. You know why wicked niggas get mad when you don't say nothing? Because see, they trying to remember what the scribes and Pharisees always try to do was catch the Lord up in his speech. See, when you talk too goddamn much, that's how people can catch you up. That's why I tell y'all stop talking so goddamn much. You know what I'm talking about? Over explaining and all that, man. I ain't my righteousness gonna speak for me, nigga. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Ain't that what Jacob told LeBron? I've been telling you that for years. Jacob didn't go back and forth with this, man. He said, my righteousness will speak for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because people want you to talk so they can catch up in your words. He said, a wise man words are few. The fool gets shown through the multitude of his words. You know why? Because the fool don't know when to shut up. But see, they tell you, you scared. Well, let me be scared then. Well, I'll be all that. I told a nigga that you did here, I'll be all that, nigga. I said, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner, nigga. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want. What that mean to me? I've been called worse by better. That's how you got to look at it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you care? I've been telling that for a long time. Why do you care what a nigga say about you? Why do you care about what a nigga think about you? What that do for you? What does that do for you? Like, seriously, why do you care? Why does that mean so much to you what this nigga think about you? So your whole identity is wrapped up into what other people think about you. What you think about you. You know what I'm saying? You know why your identity word wrapped up in what other people think about you? Because you don't have a very good thought and impression of yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you have a good thought and impression of yourself, well, you can give two flying Londons what a nigga got to say or think about you. You know what I'm talking about? What that mean to me? That's gonna make me feel bad about myself? That one self say the best response to a fool is silence. I always say that's what the old people tell you. You know why y'all know that? Because y'all don't hang around old people. You hang around your friends, and your friends stupid. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you, the old people always tell you, what you going back and forth with him for, baby? Unless your grandma hood or something. Yeah, I told you that. I was telling them that on here the other day. I was telling Hurricanes. Because we were talking about why marriages amongst Israelites is so bad. I say it's really bad because it's not really elders for real. And what I mean by that is your friends aren't elders. And you got niggas in their 30s. I told you something. You got niggas in their 30s. Man, when I heard my homeboy call his old lady an elder, you know how old that girl is? She was 24 at the time. She finna be 27. Baby, you not no elder? How you an elder in your mid-20s? That's not even close to an elder. Now, we know the words say how old you got to be, Sabo? 60. So take this into account. It's not a lot of elder people in the majority of these congregations. And it's not a lot of elder people who are married at that age with grown adult children. So you don't have elder men to talk to the young men, and you don't have elder women to talk to the young women. So people in their 30s and 40s thinking they elders, and nigga, you not an elder, cuz. I would never, I'm not gonna let no nigga call me no elder, man. I ain't your elder, cuz. Nigga, I ain't old. Not according to this standard. I'm not old. No, that don't work. So what I mean by that is now you got to get this info from your peers. Your peers are just as inexperienced as you are. So now you're in a situation where you're born. And what happens is when you've been listening to your peers for that extended period of time, when there are elder people, you're not going to want to listen to them. And the elder people who is in this thing, because the younger people are so indignant and incorrigible and just straight up churlish, they just throw their hands up and say, I'm good. I'm not fooling with these people. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to tell this older person that you know more than them. And if I was them, I wouldn't fool with these niggas either. I'm not going to be going back and forth with you. This person got grown churn, and you're going to try to tell them you know more. You ain't even got no churn. You know what I'm saying? Now, that don't mean you don't have no insight, but you would think out of a level of humility, you would listen to somebody who actually had a baby and then raised the baby to a grown man or woman. You know what I'm saying? That means there's a more. Now, of course, like the book said in Job, age should have a multitude of wisdom, and you should allow that to speak, because you notice that young man didn't open his mouth because Job and his 3 friends were older than him. Niggas these days in time, they don't give a damn if you 60, 70 years old. They gonna talk over you. I know more than you. That wicked as hell. You wicked as hell. You might not think you don't. But I come from a different time. I told you that when we talked about this some months back. I was always around niggas older than me. They got the game. You ain't got no game. How you 14, 15 years old and think you got more game than a 40-year-old? Right. Nigga, you ain't got no life experience. You ain't even been out here for real. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't did nothing. When you're young, though, you feel like you know. Little boys get to a certain age, they feel like they can take their mama now. I ain't got to listen to her because you think you bigger than her. You know what I'm saying? Get to a certain age, you go to smelling your nuts, you want to try pops. You think you can fade him. And then you think you know more than him. But you know where that come in at? You have to set a standard of wisdom and understanding early so your child would already want to come holler at you for wisdom, and they would never think that I know more than my daddy. I know more than my mama. Because they already got it in their mind. Now they think they know more than you. At this young age, they think they know more than you. That's the arrogancy of youth. You know what I'm talking about? You got to temper that down early. Can't wait. You got to start early. lay that law down early because they think they know. They think they got more skill to figure out everything. Sometimes you got to let them crash and burn and then tell them, you know, you stupid, right? Now let me show you why.
Look how smart.
Look how smart you is. Now, you thought that was the right thing to do, huh? You frustrated why it ain't working out. You mad, throwing a tantrum, crying and whatnot. Because you don't goddamn it listen. If you listen, you wouldn't have these problems. Almost say I work in a high school. It happens every day.
That's what I was trying to tell Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't listen. See? And it ended up showing everything Melvin told Jody he was right, though.
Yeah, right.
Because Jody was stupid.
They got the 5-4.
You know what I'm saying?
They got the 5-4.
He did. Jody was stupid. But not stupid as if you are devoid of intelligence. You inexperienced. And remember, we define stupid as knowing the truth and ignoring it. You know you inexperienced. You know you really don't know what you're doing. But you feel like he can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, do you have to be of an advanced age to develop in wisdom and understanding? No. You know what I'm saying? If you've had a multitude of different life experiences, that definitely can speed up your level of wisdom and understanding. But the reality is most people are sheltered. And most people ain't had those life experiences to be able to have that skill and insight in a multitude of situations and circumstances. He said, I only gave a few students advice. The rest of them, I let them figure it out. Because a few years back, some people used to be mad at me talking about you let people crash out. I sure do. You ain't supposed to let people do that, says who? I wouldn't even say that ain't right. You talking about you gonna let a nigga crash. I said, man, if you done told somebody something one time, you done told them 2 times, I done met my obligation. If I tell you 3 times and you still ain't gonna listen, it's my job to let you crash. It's my job to step out the way and let you crash so you can learn the hard way. Because you know what you're doing when you do that? You're enabling somebody. You're enabling their bad behavior. I'm not going to enable your bad behavior. You know what I'm talking about? If you want to be stupid, I need to let you find out the consequences of your stupidity yourself. And maybe that'll be the realization that you're a jackass. You know what I'm talking about? Now, some people don't need to go through that. Some people can learn straight from the information you give them, never have to experience it directly ever. And then some people, they need to bump their head up against the wall and say, you know what? You was right. I shouldn't have did that. That's right. The most I done is, well, Yahuwah gonna let you crash. You come back around here, you know what? I shouldn't have gotten that car. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Slow down, boy. You don't make me spill yak on the $200 suit. You know what I'm saying? The corner too strong. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about that? Damn. Well, that junk is hilarious. That nigga say, slow this mother down, nigga. You know what I'm saying? The nigga said that nigga had me scared, though. The hell, I'm on, though. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to crash, man. You know who the worst part of the worst people in the world? Niggas who've been unsuccessful in everything they do, but got advice for everybody. Don't nobody want to listen to you. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about it because you're poor. I ain't talking about your financial situation. I'm talking about you're unsuccessful in everything you do. Yeah, ain't nobody finna listen to you. The reality of life is, whether you like it or not, don't nobody want to listen to nobody who they wouldn't want to switch places with. You know what I'm talking about? And in every situation, that ain't necessarily the right thing, because you know they say the poor man's wisdom is despised. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's right. I'm just telling you human nature. Most people do not want to take any type of advice from somebody who they wouldn't want to switch places.
I mean, it's the same thing on Baby Boy. That's why he didn't want to listen to ever. Because he felt like, nigga, you got my mama house.
You got my mama
You
house.
got to tell me about right, nigga.
I ain't got to listen to you.
You over here at grandma's house.
You around here frog squat my mama in my grandma's house.
You in front of my grandma's kitchen, nigga. Trying to tell me about that.
You African frog squat my mama in here.
That's what-
Yes, sir.
I think it was the food and drinking
It was all that. It was
Go
all
ahead.
that.
I
You
know
know,
that.
you naked cooking grits at my
That's-
grandma's house, bro.
look,
Come on, bro. You talking
Another
about?
man come in one of my house naked drinking Kool-Aid, but he sound like the last little bit of that nigga.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. If you walk in the house and there's a man in there walking balls naked, you actually seen his phallus
Man,
and his bare cheeks,
No, for real.
it's over for you.
That nigga just said
Go ahead and pack your bags.
This ain't your house.
This ain't your house no more.
This ain't your- That's what I'm saying. At that point,
It's time to go.
that nigga said,
I gotta go.
Mama gotta have a life too, Jody, and she having it.
no, Mel-
With no regard that you will walk through the door.
If I don't like it, I'm leaving.
Do you understand how serious that is? With no regard, if you walk through the door and see this nigga painting your mama or seeing him butt naked, she ain't got no regard. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's not time to stay here no more.
But he looked at him like he looked at Keto. He doing the same thing.
That's all. What you gonna say, man?
What's the definition of someone
That
that
homeboy.
loves or is successful and you not sharing it?
I mean, that nigga just a crab. I mean, some people like that.
He said they don't shit.
Yeah, some people are just like that. Some people feel like game is to be sold and not told. Some people got all the information in the world, but if you're not gonna pay me for it, I'm not gonna share it with you. I can tell you the people I know in real estate, they don't mind sharing information with you, but they don't like people coming to them talking about, let me pick your brain. They gonna be like, hey, what? They looking to see if you want this information I share, but is you trying to add some value or is you just trying to exploit me and go on about your business? Because some people don't want to feel like they being used.
Not they ain't volunteering.
Yeah, not if they're not volunteering. Because you asking them to take away from what I'm doing to assist you. You know what I'm saying? And whether people like it or not, most people want something in return for what they're giving. That's just the reality of life. I ain't saying it's right. I ain't saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's what it is.
Yeah, and that's why I asked, because it sounds like it's attachment on both things. Poor man's advice is bad.
Well, it's not that the poor man's vice is bad. It's that most people don't respect people who don't have resources. They don't value their opinion.
Because they're saying, how is this?
Because I don't want to switch places with you. So what you know, you ain't even got no money. I ain't saying that's right or wrong, but it is what it is. A wise man know that you can get wisdom from anybody, regardless of their station. You know what I'm talking about? But most people, I mean, it go back to the generation. Even that's just people though. Most people, period, they gonna want to hear who they want to hear stuff from. You know what I'm saying? Like I think what Jay-Z said on the song, that nigga, on 22 Twos, he's like, nigga, you broke. What the F you gonna tell me? He like, I got money. What a broke nigga gonna tell me? And a lot of people feel that way. What you gonna tell me? But then you'd have to look at it. Could this broke nigga tell you about getting some money and you got some money? Probably not. Unless he done had some money before and lost it. What's that?
Ain't got no money.
I see, that's terrible. That means you wouldn't listen to the Lord.
Well, what you said was the thing about
He ain't had no money.
Thomas Edison, you know, like how he failed so many times.
Yeah, but I mean, that's different.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because you talking about somebody who's an inventor. But we just talking about wisdom.
Yeah.
We just talking about counsel. Most people just I'm not going to listen. Most people don't have a perceptive enough heart to recognize wisdom and understanding when it's presented to them. See, no, I mean, look at you know how many people feel that way. Oh, if you ain't got no money, God ain't with you. I ain't gonna listen to you, cause they got them prosperity preachers. They telling them, hey, God got money.
Or I got money, so my God is better than yours.
Cause I got
more
money.
than you.
I got more money than you.
Nah, that's a mindset. Like,
And get what? And that's when you. And that's when you spin this round. Woo, woo, woo. Look here. And if you think gain is godliness, you have a perverse and a corrupt mind. But see, they don't know that's in there. And you know why they don't know that's in there? Because they preacher gonna conveniently skip over that.
When I heard it, when she said that, that's what I heard in my mind. Like, damn,
Your mind corrupt.
that's tough.
And guess who gave you that mind? God gave you that
And
money.
he gave you that conviction, you feel like you got it.
And he said you could take him, go to hell with him.
Package deal, baby.
Package
Bust it
deal.
open.
And people don't realize that, man.
Bust it open.
Listen, just because you got money don't mean God with you. And just because you got money don't mean God ain't with you. Just because you ain't got money, because you got some niggas feel like if you poor, that mean God with you. That don't mean God with you, just mean you poor. And just because you poor don't mean God ain't with you. Because you know why? Because men look on outward appearance.
Right.
But Elohim look on the heart. Nigga, heart filthy. Because everybody looking at outward. Oh, he drive a nice car. I know God with him. That nigga wicked as hell. He touch children when ain't nobody looking. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga a thief when ain't nobody looking. He beat his wife when ain't nobody looking. He got 4 side chicks when ain't nobody looking. Oh, that's a pious woman. She cuss her husband out every day. Slap her children. Got a side dude screwing the pool boy. She's a thief. She's spiteful. She's malicious. She's contentious. Just disrespectfully rude. Let her tell it. She the most sanctified, godly woman you ever seen. Yeah, baby, your heart filthy. Nobody don't care nothing about all that you talking about. Oh my God, with me, look at these beautiful church hats I can wear. Look at these fringes on the bottom of my garments. That's your wicked behind up, bro. That's how the game go, baby. What we at with this, bro? We got to get off here.
Exodus 28, unless we go with that now.
No, read 31. Oh, yeah, we good. We good with that. Come on, to Deuteronomy 33. Now, in Deuteronomy 33 and 8, of course, he said, hey, he proved him at strife how he had perfected life. He said, let perfection and light be with him. That way he said, I am the light of the world. And in him was light, and the light was the life of men, because Elohim is light and no part darkness. Now, when we look at verse 9, he said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor his own children, for they observed your word and kept your covenant. Well, of course, you know that's how the Lord will operate. Then he said they'll teach Jacob your judgments and Yasharal your law, and you shall put incense before you and a whole burnt sacrifice upon the altar. 5:1 Ephesians for your burnt sacrifice upon the altar. Which is why he tell you, gather my saints together that you might make a covenant with me by sacrifice. Leading that sacrifice into what? The sacrifice of the firstborn sons of Egypt in order to set you free.
So be you therefore followers of Elohim as dear children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and have given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor.
Sweet-smelling savor. That's your burnt sacrifice upon the altar. Now look at verse 11, right? Bless Yahuwah his substance. Tell him what substance means in Deuteronomy 33 and 11.
Kayil.
Wealth. Oh, the app glitching? My God, today. We just say this here. So substance is Kayil, that's your wealth, your substance. Same word you see in Proverbs 31, if you would. And accept the work of his hands. John 12 and 23. Now, of course, we could talk about John 17. I finished the work which you gave me to do. What is the work of his hands? But the sacrifice of his body. Go ahead.
And Yahushua answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be esteemed. Truly, truly, I say unto you, except the corn of wheat fall into the ground and die
It abide,
alone,
but if it died,
bring forth much fruit.
come on with it.
He that love his life shall lose it. He that hate his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Abba honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Abba saved me from this hour, but for this cause came I unto this hour. Abba esteem your name. Then came there a voice from Shamim saying, I have both esteemed it and will esteem it again. People therefore that stood by and heard said that it thundered. Others said Amalekam spake to him. Yahushua answered and said, this voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
That's right.
And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will
Well,
draw all unto me.
Come on.
This he said, signifying what death he should die.
Come on.
People answered, we have heard out of the law that Hamashiach abide forever. How say you, the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man?
Who is this?
And Yahushua said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while you have the
There goes a
light.
little urine.
Walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you.
Come on.
For he that walk in darkness know not where he go.
Come on.
While you have light, believe in the light, that you may be the children of light. These things spake Yahushua and departed, and did hide himself from them.
Now remember, he said, Abba, esteem your name. He said, I'll esteem it, and I've esteemed it again. And he said, man, it sounded like it thundered. Ain't that what he said? That's accepting the work of his hands, if you would, even before he did it. So then you look at smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. Well, I think we've already talked about that with that sword. It's in Isaiah 11. He's going to come through and kill all these people. You know what I'm talking about? Not only just kill them, but then they ain't even going to rise again. And then when Gog and Magog rise up, guess what he's going to do to them? Kill all them. And then guess what he's going to do after that? Resurrect them from the dead and kill them again. Right? Tossing them in the lake where the worm dies not, and the fire shall not be quenched. So that's the ending for Levi in Deuteronomy 33 and Genesis 49. I think the only tribe left is Benjamin. I don't think we did Joseph in here. So all we got left in Deuteronomy 33 is Benjamin and Joseph to correspond with Genesis 49. I think we did everybody else in Genesis 49. Let me look at that. Yeah, we did Asher. Yeah, we did Asher not too long ago. Deuteronomy 33, because Asher was, let Asher be blessed with children. Let it be acceptable to, we just did that about a week ago. So we did Reuben, we done Simeon and Levi, got Judah in Genesis 49, Zebulun, Gad and Dan, Asher, Naphtali, Benjamin and Joseph. We'll be done with that. But read them Exodus 9 to 16 one more time.
And in very deed, for this have I raised you up, for to show you my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth.
I want you to read me John 17. I want you to pick me up at verse 24. After that, I want you to read me Psalms 40. I want you to pick that up in verse 7. So this is John chapter 17, verse 24.
Abba, I will that they also whom you have given me be with me where I am, that they may behold my esteem, which you have given me. For you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Abba, the world have not known you, but I have known you, and these have known that you have sent me.
Go ahead.
And I have declared unto them your name.
I've what?
Declared unto them your name.
What else?
And will declare it, that the love wherewith you have loved me may be in them, and I in them.
He said, I will declare it. Declare what? That the love
wherewith you have loved me may be in them, and I in them.
Go ahead.
That's the end of that.
End of that. Psalms 40 and 7.
Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book written of me.
Go ahead.
I delight to do your will, O my Elohim. Yea, your law within my heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation.
Right.
Lo, I have not refrained my lips, O Yahuwah, you know. I have not hid your righteousness within my heart.
Come on.
I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation.
I've declared your what?
Your faithfulness and your salvation.
What else?
I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great congregation. Withhold not you your tender mercies from me.
That's good. We might switch the title to that. To this Exodus 9 to 16. Because the one thing about the first Passover coming out of Egypt and the latter Passover coming out of sin is that all these great works were done in him, that the name of Yahuwah might be declared. So we want to deal with that in the regards of that his name might be declared. So hallelujah for Yahushua and word. I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. If who are willing, tomorrow we're going to start at 8, which means I have an extended amount of time. I went about 15 to 20 minutes longer than I would have desired. But so, again, the time frame is on the community tab. Peace, brother Omar, man. Hey, sit down. There's no need for y'all to be moving around. for a state announcement to be made that they said if you on Saturday afternoon, if you arrive at noon, lunch will be served. You ain't got to come at noon, but don't look for no damn lunch if you don't. But we gonna be done threw it away. That's what I said, man. Not for real. You know what I'm saying? Peace, brother Joseph. But yeah, said noontime. It'll be amen, man. Praise you indeed. Love you too, bro. So lunch will be given starting at noon. You dig? So you got what, 250 short now? I'm talking about you say you needed 450, and I think 250 been given. So they put that in the group chat. I think 250 been given. So with this white dude payment, it'll probably be 150 that need to be paid.
What's wrong with him?
She said $100.
Well, that's $100.
Oh, you said it was good? No, I know you said you put 100.
I put 100. Monty put 100. So
Oh, I ain't see my take put. I ain't see him take. But no, he say he's good, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Good night, Mother Strong.
Treasure? Huh? We good.
Shalom, Eric, man. So disregard that. So yeah, Lord willing, we'll be back on here tomorrow night. And until that time.